And we are live 7.5 years later. Welcome.
Finally.
WAM Sports Life, the podcast. I am Edgar Hernandez with my partner in crime,
Victor Chavez. Vic J.
Mr. Vic J. He was not in the building a couple days ago in Atlanta when we finally shot our first video in quite a bit. And it's exciting. It's exciting. What? We're starting WAM Sports Life once again. We brought it back in 2015. And Toluca to score the second goal. Today is Thursday night. Today's Thursday night. So if you're listening to this, it's actually morning when we release the podcast in the video. So good morning. Hope you guys had a great week.
Morning.
Looking forward to a great weekend. MLS is coming up. We all, have season tickets and all that good stuff, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. But we want to introduce ourselves a little bit more. And Victor, people have seen me. They saw me in the last video. I was running around with my head chopped off, speaking to everybody.
Amazing, by the way. Amazing.
Incredible work. And I have to be honest with you. It was my first time really like handling equipment. I was out there just trying to make things happen. And I can't lie. I know some of the audio, got a little crazy, especially when I was in the middle with like all the fans and everything. I thought that I had to like scream into the mic, but you keep your distance a little bit with these little mics nowadays. They're really capable of capturing that. So, to anybody out there that's trying to capture content, don't scream into the mic. It does take the audio, just how it makes it sound when you have it like nearby your mouth or whatnot. But yep, we released the first video, and we're excited to have a lot more content coming your way. Specifically, these podcasts for this first episode. It is our first podcast, right? Me and Victor, but we were looking forward to having special guests throughout the year.
Oh, yeah.
We have a couple things lined up. We've contacted a couple folks already, so we're going to have them on. And, well, Victor, I'm going to let you take the floor, kind of introduce yourself, let us know how you're feeling about the movement. If you want to talk about how, WAM Sports Life came to be in 2015, a little bit of, our background story. We are cousins, if nobody knew. So take the floor, my brother.
Yes. So we basically have grown up together, right? I'm originally from Virginia, and you have always been from Georgia. So the earliest memory I have was when we were, I think, 3 or 4 years old, when you lived in that 2-story house, that pink house. Remember that?
I do remember that.
That epic picture. We got to find it for one of these future episodes. That epic picture we have together. That's when it all started. And it was just incredible, man. I remember going there because we would always go to Mexico. Me and my cousin, we are from San Luis. Our families are from San Luis Potosí, Mexico. So we would always, Atlanta was always a pit stop. From Virginia to Atlanta was always a guaranteed pit stop, 1 or 2 days. It was amazing. It was amazing hanging out with you.
And real quick, Cerrito de la Cruz, okay? Rio Verde, San Luis Potosí. If you really want to get specific, so shout out to the family, to anybody who's tuning in, and even as a listener. But please continue.
Yeah, no, I have amazing memories when we were kids playing. I remember it was on Nintendo 64. It was FIFA 98, if you remember that. Amazing epic games we used to have back then.
Amazing soundtrack.
Incredible.
I can't know. When I get up again.
That was my first introduction to the whole soccer vibe. It was great. That video game, I think there was a setting where you can have it with no reps, if you remember that. You just really destroy each other if you really wanted to. It was
like no rules. That was FIFA World Cup 98 and 64.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Yes.
That was definitely predating all the FIFAs that we have now, but that was incredible. One of the best games. But yeah, that's when we started. Since we were kids, we've basically been best friends forever. I didn't have a big brother. You've always been the big brother figure in my life. So like I said, we've always had amazing summers in Mexico and Virginia. I would go to Georgia. You would come to Virginia. And we would have great summers, man. This guy would come to my house for like 3 months, and we would just watch soccer, play, and it was incredible stuff. So yeah, it was in 2015 when we finally decided, because we would always have conversations like this on the phone for numerous hours as we were kids all the time. And we're like, hey, why don't we just start something, put it out there? And back in 7 years ago, we had the idea to travel, to showcase what it is to go to a game, the experience. But, we did 2 or 3 videos, and then we kind of put everything on pause. Life happens, and eventually we finally made it back to this. And back then we didn't have the idea for a podcast. It was more of a vlog, like a sports blog and stuff like that. But now it turned into this. So we are very excited. We're brand new to it, but we're very excited to start this journey.
And just to kind of follow up on that, Atlanta United, right, was, it was announced in 2015. I know, like, the second video of the YouTube channel, it was actually the first video that we ever filmed that version. That it was the logo unveiling and all that, and the fact that I was going to be able to have soccer or a stadium that I could go to in my backyard was incredible. I'm a big Toluca FC fan, growing up, us, being Mexican and everything, that's kind of a tradition, like weekends, watching soccer, supporting the Selección Mexicana. It's a lifestyle. It's a culture. It's something that we live day to day. And, Victor, you mentioned that, every day we pretty much call each other, or we would call each other, or sometimes, you're working and I'm driving, I will like get on the voice memo, right? Record a little mini podcast.
So crazy.
Right, like a podcast that nobody was going to listen to, right? It's just kind of like me, like catching up with you. Right. And if you didn't know it already, I mean, we're best friends. So we're like, hey, everybody's like, oh, Edgar, you like sports and this and that. Like, where's that going to take you? And it's more like, well, let me do something about it. And that's kind of one of the reasons of the inspiration was to, kind of be able to not only create content, but also put it out there on the internet. So like years from now, right, like my kids can see it, and you and I, right, can go back and, look at these conversations that we've had, because you and I, right, I think that goes for anybody. You have conversations with people, or you have memories. I mean, it goes back to like, take photos, take videos,
Yeah, plenty of pictures. We have thousands, ask my mom, she has thousands of old pictures. But it would have been great back then to have an iPhone, to have cameras and be able to record a lot of those moments. I know there's those giant VHS tapes somewhere around, but it's more convenient to have the iPhone for sure.
And yeah, I mean, those tapes are out there, right? The VHS tapes. I mean, I remember like 2010 World Cup, 2014 World Cup, you and I hopping up and down, and your mom's running in there with the camera. I think there was like one epic celebration I did. It was like the Oribe Peralta goal against Cameroon in the 2014 World Cup, and somebody recorded, or you recorded it on the phone, and I remember I requested.
I think like that's small, but then the footage got lost. You think never phone or something.
It was like a couple months I was requesting that clip, and I never got it, and I'm still kind of pissed off about that, bro. To be honest with you, because it was an epic celebration, and definitely something I want to do is kind of capture, grab that content from those like old tapes or mini DVs or whatnot, get it on a hard drive, and put it here, right? I think that'd be cool to kind of upload like a throwback of like all the epic celebrations and like reactions, and that's why like. With the Toluca and Atlanta United game, it was like super exciting, catching that mid-interview celebration with the goal.
That was awesome.
Because like, I'll be honest with you, even then I was like kind of nervous when I went up there, like, man, like, okay, who's going to like want to interview me, right? They're trying to watch the game and everything, but I was like, no. I was like, no, I have to get footage here with the Porra, or with the supporters group of Toluca. Exactly. So when I met my friend, I can't recall his name. I got I think it was like Edivilio, something like that, from Chicago. Shout out to him. He was open for the interview, and I started talking to him, and then the goal happened. I think it was just a special moment that he's not going to forget, and I'm not going to forget. And that's what WAM Sports Life is all about. It's kind of, we played soccer growing up and all that great stuff, and maybe we didn't become the athletes, right? I think we all have that dream, and I'm hoping, my kids or the future generations or any of the little cousins coming up, right? I think we all want them. I mean, I have a godson who plays, he plays football, he plays basketball, he's super passionate, and like, that's what it's all about, right? Supporting each other. But WAM Sports Life, it stands for what a moment, right? Because I think that's what sports are all about. Kind of like those little moments where you get excited, man, for like that second that you're like celebrating a goal, where, you're competing against like your friend or your cousin or whatnot. And,
rivalry for sure.
You have that joy that your heart beats. I mean, that's what it's all about. So even though maybe you didn't become an athlete, but you can still enjoy sports, not only not only just to watch, but you can also apply it to work. You can apply it to, motivational speeches or anything that you want to entail or describe. There's always a metaphor when it comes to like sports, and you can always describe anything. Like, for example, I know you and your family, you have that successful company, and, it takes a team, right? It takes a team, it takes organization to apply those skills. So that kind of goes back to the sports. Like we're all competing every day. We're competing. We're trying to do something. So
it's a mission every day, waking up, everybody, whatever work field you're in, it's a mission, going out there, doing your job, coming back. It's intense. It's intense going out there for sure.
But that's just a little bit about how WAM Sports Life came to be. I do want to give a quick little background. There was a time in my life where I did nightlife, and I got with a group of friends. They were called Absolute Nightlife. That's right. That was kind of like my college years. You could describe. I think
best parties ever in Atlanta.
Yeah, 100%.
The best parties.
But
you know.
Oh yeah. If you know, you know. But behind the scenes, there was work happening. There was things going on. There was. That's where I learned social media. That's where I learned a lot of my design chops. That's where a lot of like the motivational speeches, like, hey, we got to work hard. We got to create, we got to create content. And that's what we're doing now. So instead of like nightlife, now I live a sports life, season ticket holder, Atlanta United, big Atlanta guy. But we definitely want to cover everything. I think the goal is to get to know people, find the random fan, the Green Bay Packer fan, right? Or the guy who's passionate about NASCAR, or, the Mexican who's super passionate about F1 racing, or, I have a great friend of mine. He plays tennis, he plays golf. Like, I really want to take this opportunity with what we're doing here and this new journey that we're taking to learn about all of these sports and kind of get into it and become passionate, right? And we're going to have a little section towards the end where there are some sports that we aren't too familiar with, but that I want to get to know about. And that's what this journey is about. I want to kind of get to know those people who do know about the sports. That's why I want to have like guests on that tell us about, that expert on UFC, or like I mentioned before, F1, NASCAR, the Olympics, right? Later on. I mean, there's like track and field. I mean, there's so many different types of sports. Basic ones. Go ahead, Vic.
Oh, no. I was just saying that, yeah, you're right. There is a lot of sports out there that, maybe we're not too familiar with. But, yeah, I always love learning about it, other sports, and not just sports, art, movies, music, anything. I always enjoy talking to someone else about something else and learning something else. It's great. It's great stuff. Now, just to go back a little bit for the memories, in 2006,
please do, man. That's the word. This is day one.
One of the best. Day one. 2006, in my house in Woodbridge, Mexico, Iran. Some of the best moments ever. When we woke up and then we thought that it was over. I remember like, yo, muchachos, yeah, se acabó. Like, yo, the game already happened, bro. It's over. No. But we didn't miss it, and it was some of the best memories ever. Singing the national anthem with you. We had Toluca, and we had Ciña. your player, captain, number 10, representing Mexico. Probably the best extranjero Mexico's ever had, and killed it with selección. He scored in that game, and we watched it with your parents, my parents, my uncle Steven. Shout out to my tío Teman.
And real quick, extranjero is a foreign player. Just
Yes.
just to make sure. Continue, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we actually had those extranjeros, 2 foreign players. We had Guillo Franco as well, playing in Mexico. It was a different time.
Yeah, Guillo Franco, man. I mean, he let me down a little bit. But A for effort. Definitely better than Funes Mori. But that's a different subject for a different day, for sure.
Don't remind me about the 2020.
Yeah. We're not gonna get into that today. Although you'll
not
see the
today.
jersey. Still a fly jersey, especially that beige one.
It's still fly, yeah. But
yeah.
Anyways, that's pretty much what I wanted to touch back on. But
that was 2006, that Mexico-Iran memory, and I think another throwback of us kind of experiencing sports was also, I think it was 2003 or 2004 that we went to RFK Stadium. Right?
Yes, RFK Stadium. Yeah, we saw Barcelona, Milan, where we saw Ronaldinho and Rafa Marquez. We went, me and you, and then my dad and your dad. I remember that. That's what Rafa Marquez and Ronaldinho just got to Barcelona. It was incredible. So super random game, RFK.
So let's kind of get into that. I think we've covered a little bit of like why we started, right? We're passionate about sports since we were kids. We've, obviously soccer's kind of been the main driver, but I haven't mentioned it. But as an ATLian, I've grown up watching Hawks, Falcons, Georgia Bulldogs. I take a peek at overall all Georgia basketball. When it comes to Georgia Tech, Georgia State, Georgia Southern.
And loves Georgia.
I'm this guy. Exactly, yeah. But believe me, like every morning, right?
It's a local passion, a local pride, man. I love it. It's great. And that's where you're from. That's your hometown. That's you.
100%. And then from the Mexico side, right? I am, a Toluca FC fan. From overseas, I am a Barcelona fan. From Spain, a Newcastle fan from the Premier League. Yeah. There's a final coming up this Sunday against Manchester United. Newcastle hasn't. Yeah, we haven't the Carabao Cup. We haven't touched a final like in a very long time. Newcastle's on the come up with the new owners. They've really done some great damage there. But I kind of covered some of the teams that I support. Please, Mr. Vic, let them know the teams that you support on your end. I know you got your Charlotte jersey there, and obviously, Atlanta United. That's why I'm on the MLS side. But you want to kind of dive into the teams that you support and why?
Yeah. Ever since I was young, the earliest memory I have was, I believe, 94, 98, Mexico. And I wasn't the biggest soccer fan or the biggest, I didn't really know much, but I remember I liked the atmosphere around it. But I think everyone growing up, and it not just Mexicans, I think anyone that really supports soccer, their earliest memory probably has to be a national team. And that was, for me, Mexico. And it wasn't until 2002 that that season, it was Verano 2002, summer 2002 in Mexico. There's 2 tournaments. There's like a summer and winter tournament. And so it's half and half. Not how it is in MLS, where it's almost a full year. So in that season, my mom and grandpa and everyone in the family has always pretty much supported Club America, which is right behind me, the logo right here behind me. And I just decided, you know what? I'm like, this season, I'm just gonna support. And I watched, and we made it to the final. I remember that. Made it a very controversial final, which I believe that we won fair and square, but my colleague here would disagree. But we won, and that's when I started going for Club America.
That's right.
And ever since then, I started picking up, I was just a casual fan there. I didn't really know all the players, but little by year after year, I got a jersey. I started knowing the players more. And back then, we didn't have anything like the MLS season pass or Wi-Fi and all these other things where you could watch all the games. Before there were so many, it was difficult to watch a Mexico game because Univision would only show Club America, Chivas, and it was difficult back then. Now you have access to all the games on everything, but that was the main thing. Club America was, man, it was great, and I got to see another final in 2005, and after that, it was a long 13 years, man. A long. It was a long time. It felt like forever until 2013 when we won that epic final. That was the best ever. I cried.
Don't remind me.
It was one of the best finals ever against Cruz Azul. We were down 2-0, and then somehow we come back. Our keeper scores it, and we went in penalties. It was magical. I had never cried that much before. I was just so happy. It was amazing. And for the longest, that's all I had. MLS, I didn't really watch it. I'll be honest with you. Every now and then, until 2007, I got a little bit of interest when my favorite player, Cuauhtemoc Blanco, one of my favorite players, Mexican player, legend for Club America and Mexico, he joined Chicago Fire, and he killed it in the MLS All-Star game with David Beckham and Donovan, but he won the MVP of the game. And I believe he scored a goal and had an assist. So that kind of piqued my interest. And then I did go to RFK Stadium, and I was supporting Chicago Fire. I was in the supporter section of DC United. I think they were called the Screaming Eagles. I'm not sure. But I was there with my dad, and when Chicago Fire won, it was an MLS playoff game there. And Cuauhtemoc Blanco, I believe he scored, or they won, and I was just screaming both goals, man. I was like, "Oh, whoa, what's going on?" I didn't care. I was a kid, whatever. And he came over. He did come over, and he was just, it was so cool seeing him there. But then he left, and I didn't really have much interest in MLS.
You're a legend, Cuauhtemoc Blanco. We need someone like that again.
Definitely, that's what's missing. And it wasn't until 2015, it was all I had was Club America and Mexico. Then Atlanta United was gonna happen.
Real quick though, you gotta give a shout out to your Dallas Cowboys, because
Dallas Cowboys.
That is part of your history.
Yeah, Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, my dad has been over here in the States since he was 14, and that was always growing up. Cowboys, having the hoodies, the jackets, the shirts. We work construction, right. We do framing, man. Shout out to all my uncles. We've been doing framing since forever. And everyone has the hard hats with the Cowboys logo. So that's we represent it every day out there. It's crazy. I need to get one with half Cowboys, half Charlotte. I got to make that somehow. But
you got to send me a picture of that, because that's we got to show the world. We got to show the world that.
Yeah. But it's been a very difficult road. But every season we're out there, man. We're always out there supporting. I've never seen them live. I got to put that on the bucket list to go to Dallas.
You almost did.
Almost did. I remember that. Or if they ever come to play the Panthers, that's the closest team I have here at the Bank of America Stadium. But like I was saying, in 2017, that's when I had Ryan United. That's when it's about. We've always been close and everything. I got excited, man. I got the jersey. There's pictures out there. You have pictures. I have some stuff online. I was there. I saw Joseph Martinez score 2 goals. It was epic. It was amazing. I had the best times of life. I had a little bit too much to drink that day, but the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, folks. It's one of the best stadiums in the whole world. To me, it's the nicest stadium I've ever been to in the whole world. It's incredible.
Yes, it is. Shout out Arthur Blank.
Shout out to Miss Arthur Blank. Yeah. Hopefully, one day Charlotte can have a super nice stadium like that. Don't get me wrong. I like the Bank of America Stadium for what it is. I enjoy the seats that I have there. It's great, right? We get lit. All right. But it would be nice to have a top of the line stadium one day, or a soccer specific stadium only for Charlotte. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But that was my team, my quote unquote MLS team was Atlanta.
Right. I mean, that's all there was at the time. You didn't know that Charlotte was gonna be a thing.
No,
at least not then. When
that was the closest thing. That was the closest thing, and we're parallel to you that you were born and raised always in Atlanta, and you've always supported from day one the Falcons, the Hawks, now Atlanta United, all the teams, the Braves, the Atlanta Braves.
That's right, the Braves. Thank you.
The Braves. You always supported every Georgia, Atlanta team. Always, you've always held that down for sure. In my contrast, like you said, being a Cowboys fan, I've always hated the football team there. I've never liked them. And I just have never found any connection to the DC teams. I don't, definitely the football team I don't like. The football team that's there, definitely. I've never liked it.
I don't think you mentioned it, but you were raised in Virginia the first half of your life, basically. Your first, 13 years, 14, 15 years?
And I moved to South Carolina. I'm in Conway, Myrtle Beach area. I moved here in 2008, but originally I was born in Virginia, so I lived there until I was about 18 or 19, and I moved here my senior year, folks. So, yeah. But I have about 18 years in Virginia, and I never felt any connection to the teams out there. Like I said, I don't mind the Wizards. I don't mind the Nationals. Shout out to Lil Will and Jessica. They're huge National fans. But I've never felt the connection to those teams. But the only one I dislike is the Washington football team. So,
because you're a Cowboys fan, obviously.
Because I'm a Cowboys fan, yeah, always.
And they are now called the Commanders.
Shout out to the Commanders, yeah. So now in 2019, when Charlotte got announced, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? And I remember the day it got announced, and when it became available, I don't know if it was the same day. I remember I called you, I'm like, yo, this is happening, like, this is amazing. I can't believe we're gonna have a team, And I put the season ticket deposit down that same day. I was like, let's do it. And ever since then, it's been magical, because me and you have always had a rivalry. You know, Toluca, America, incredible games.
Yeah, every time.
With the MySpace, it all started with MySpace. Remember that, with MySpace. That you were heavy on the MySpace. You got me into graphic design with the MySpace, and we just pushed each other, and we became like, we filled the void where there wasn't anyone with Toluca or America. There was a couple pages, but then me and you took over, and we kept pushing each other to design, to make it better. And it was fun, man. I was there for hours and hours and hours, as you were, and you're still doing and working in the design field. And it was great memory. So that's what I built the connection with America. And now I have Charlotte with me. So we still continue the rivalry. America, Toluca, Charlotte, Atlanta. Last season was incredible, man.
Last season with us, Charlotte and Atlanta, it was stressful. Not sure, like there was some drama. You know, there was drama. But no, please continue. I mean, there's so much to touch on. And look, I just want to let everybody know. Listen, this is our first podcast, right? So we got so much to say. But it's very exciting. And if you are listening, believe me, please reach out. Let us know if you want to come on, you want to talk, you want to vent. You know, we're here for you. We want to hear you out. We want to hear your story too. This is a brand.
On the ride to work, while you're working out, while you're just hanging out. We're here.
We want you to feel like, yo, you're hanging out. You know, maybe it's happy hour. Maybe, you are working alongside us. Maybe you're at the beach. Maybe you're on vacation, and we're just having a good old conversation, having a cold drink of water or drink of a spirit, whatever your choice is, right? Whatever type of person you are, we're here for you. But please, Mr. Vic J, continue. I know we're kind of streaming into the Charlotte-Atlanta rivalry. A little bit all over the place, but we're going to get it down. But please continue.
It's episode 1. Yeah, we'll get it right.
Catch us in episode 100. I think we'll be much more structured, but thank you if you made it this far. Please continue on. Big things are coming. We're excited, but please continue. Yeah, there was some tension with that Charlotte Atlanta, the first one, right? I mean, you guys,
there was a lot of tension.
The new kids in town, and we got. Hold on, camera. We got a little star here. We were with pride.
Okay, it's okay.
Spoken it out. Sorry. Continue. If you know,
and before I get into it, if you know, before I get into it, this guy, man, in 2019, Atlanta United also played my favorite team, Club America, and they beat us. I was there.
What?
It was very stressful. I was very, very upset, very upset. But you know, one day we're gonna get revenge for that. We're gonna get revenge. And so jumping back into the Charlotte Atlanta rivalry, just to bring it back a little bit, I had been following the team last season. Really, I took off like almost 3 months, or 3 months, like 3 Saturdays, 3 months worth of Saturdays working. So I followed them since Charleston, and then I went to the first ever match in DC, the first ever home game. And then I went to Atlanta. It was like 5 or 6 weeks just going to every game. It was intense, man. It was intense. But when I got the ATL, this guy took the famous picture outside the Mercedes-Benz. We literally got out of the car, let's do it. And I was pumped, man. I was pumped. And when we showed up to the tailgate, when we showed up that day to the stadium, the Charlotte fans were loud, man. I know you were impressed, and a lot of people were like, "Whoa, these guys are rowdy. They're the new kids." But they definitely are here to show out. I will say that the DC United fans didn't treat us very well. They were a little mean. But Atlanta was very welcoming. The first time. I don't know about this time when we're gonna go in the summer. Probably not as much.
Yeah, I just want to say something. I want to say something about that. First of all, yeah, when you came last year, man, you came to the tailgate, right, where all the Atlanta United supporter groups were at, and I mean, they offered you a beer. They came up to you. They shook your hand. I think one of
a scarf for someone.
You did. I mean, we were very welcoming, right? And they say Southern hospitality, right? But just a quick little, because I definitely, I'm gonna get into my history as well, how Big J's kind of gone through the timeline, but I do want to say something. When I went to Charlotte, they weren't as nice. Mixed feelings. But it's all love. Shout out to Pata, shout out to Sean. Shout out to QC Hobby. You know, these were people that definitely, welcomed me in, and I felt the presence. But definitely, I guess if I didn't have, obviously, Mr. Top Bin 90.
Top Bin 90. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy Lee. CLTSC Fan TV.
The night before, man, he showed us around. He showed me around town. I mean, that was incredible.
Yeah, it was great.
I love that, and I was rocking my Atlanta United gear. But please, I don't want to jump too far. We could talk about first the first leg, which was over here. And I know we're kind of getting ahead, right? Because that game's in for another 3 weeks. But that's what we are, Atlanta and Charlotte. So I think it's good to kind of relate that experience, how it went down. But please continue. Yes, the Southern hospitality, it was nice for you. Because I saw it.
It was nice. It was nice. So it was me, you, our friend Sean. Shout out to Sean. So we were all there. We went to your section, your seats that you have, and everyone was, "Hey, Charlotte, hey, welcome." We like the jersey, we like the scarves. Everyone was super nice, super nice. When we finally got in there, man, everyone was like, "Whoa, the Charlotte kid, what's he doing here?" "Oh, he's with me, folks. It's okay.
Charlotte guy.
Okay." Hey, Charlotte guy.
They wanted to shot down the beer with me, bro. And I think when you come again, I think you gotta just go up there and return.
Yeah. Next time, I was a newbie to it, but next time, if I'm off for that, we're going for it. But it was just exciting. It was exciting seeing my team there. It was exciting seeing the supporter section. They were up there, and it was great just hearing our chants, our songs. I got chills. It was great, and watching the game was very stressful, man. Very, very stressful. Very stressful. And then eventually, we get to when we finally score. Shout out to my boy Adam Armour. That's my favorite player for Charlotte FC. That was just a magical moment. That was our first ever MLS goal ever scored. So not a lot of people can say that. We were part of history. Just to see that. And I was crowded with all Atlanta United fans. I didn't care. I was jumping up and down. I didn't know if to cry. I didn't know if to scream. I don't know if to clap. It was so many emotions like inside of me. And it was Adam Armour, like my favorite player. Like it was perfect. It was perfect. We didn't win the game, unfortunately. But that fueled us up for the following 3 weeks, and then that motivated us. That motivated us to come out and be like, all right, they beat us. They beat us fair and square. We're gonna come back and we'll see them. We'll see them again. And shout out to Joseph Martinez, the legend, the ex-legend of Man United. He did trade jerseys with our goalie, Kalinin, and he did such an incredible save for him. It was magical. So that game was perfect. It was great. And if you want to talk about the Charlotte one, go ahead, Mr. Edgar.
Yeah, no, I do want to recall from that first game how it was a game-winning goal by. I gotta double check if it was Marcelino Moreno, Goodman, or Mr. Lennon. I'm gonna have to check that. But when we scored that winning goal, all the Charlotte FC players dropped. They dropped like flies. And I think that was something that went on online, weeks after, how, people were like using that as a meme. And that kind of fueled what was, right, the first game, that rivalry.
Yeah.
You've mentioned how, Atlanta United rivals Orlando City, right? But now Charlotte being...
It's fake. Now we're here. We're here, and we're going to be the real rival.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's definitely like a generator, right? But I think, I understand Atlanta, Orlando, hey, they wanted to kind of create something. And it ended up happening because Joseph Martinez always scored goals in Orlando. There was the first game we played, we tied them last minute. Yeah, no, actually it was 0-0. And then Tito Villalba scores the game-winning goal. And then over there, same thing. Tito Villalba scores a golazo from out of the area. I mean, that 2017 was insane. But now with Charlotte, right, they're like new kids on the block, as well as Nashville, right? They're there as well. They're like the second cousin or whatnot. But Charlotte, right, they got the direct 85 contact, right? You and I, we're cousins. And I think that's something that we were kind of going back and forth on the Twitter, kind of like letting people know, like, for life, you're always going to sit next to me when you come to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and then I'm always going to sit next to you at Bank of America Stadium. And that's going to be a tradition, right, that is going to, go on forever for generations to come. And that's exciting, right? Because you look at NFL, right? All these generational teams, right? Because they've been around since 50s or 40s or whatnot. And you've seen grandparents and parents and, sons and grandsons, and it's a tradition, right? But now MLS, right? It's fresh. It started in '96, right? But now all these, our cities finally got teams in 2017 and, 2021, and now, or 2022, sorry. And now that history is now beginning, right? Now we're getting those memories, my kids, your kids, those tickets will be handed off. And that's the beautiful thing. Like, yeah, this is kind of you could say, a rivalry, right? I mean, and the people, look, the MLS world, the soccer world, the Twitter world, there's some people out there that get very offensive. They get violent. Okay, let's be honest here.
Twitter is a very place. It's just selling chess.
And this is the crazy man, right? This is the world we live in now, right? I mean, people, it's very easy to put whatever you need to put out there, right? But that's what we're trying to, put positivity out there, have conversations, have a good time. By no means do we hate anyone, do we hate a team. I think at the end of the day, you got to have sportsmanship, right? What happens in the game stays in the game. We definitely don't support any violence outside of stadiums. Unfortunately, those things happen, right? And especially, in Mexico, there's some things that have happened as well that have been unfortunate. And, we definitely want to spread that message like, hey, look, it's a sport. It's a game. We're here to have fun. It's a passion that we have, but there's no need to get violent, right? But
no need for that. No need.
But, people can have fun. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, when I was in Charlotte, right? And I think we went out. I went out to the tailgate. I went out there with you, and it's crazy, right? When you're like, and I know you experienced it when you went to D.C., and I know I want to get a little bit more experience going to away games, right? I definitely want to go check out a game in Orlando and Nashville, these surrounding cities, right? And I know you, as an America fan, you've been to Philadelphia, right? You feel that tension. We're on, they're go Toluca 3-0. 3-0.
Wow. Okay.
If you're listening to this, my brother, we are destroying Santos. I do apologize, my brother.
Sorry.
It's all love. It's all love. But we are winning 0-3. It's exciting for me, man. Toluca, that's my team. Look right here. We're winning. We're looking good. We're looking great. We beat Pachuca last week. But anyway, let's get back to the subject. In Charlotte, you guys were rounding up. You guys were about to do the march to get into Bank of America Stadium, right? We were pretty much fresh off the 2-1 win, right, that Atlanta had against Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I walked. I didn't. Obviously, I'm not gonna march with you guys. I mean, I'm Man United. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing. I think you, Patterson, you were out there. You were hanging out. You were getting hyped. I was like, all right,
where'd he go?
It's time to go.
Yeah, I'm out.
It's time to go. Like, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna go find my people. And I had the founding member scarf on, right? And for those who don't know, the founding member scarf is it's a pattern of fully black, fully red, fully black, fully red, and it says founding member with the date of when the team was established. And if you actually go to our first video on this YouTube page or on the YouTube page, you can see the scarves that were handed out and all that great stuff. I'll show a picture. It's right here. This is the scarf. Okay, so I'm walking down, heading towards Bank of America Stadium. It's quite a walk. It's quite a walk from the tailgate ground. So let's do something about that, Tepper. Help my people out here, man. They just, I don't know.
And it's an epic walk when you're marching with everyone. It's an epic.
Okay,
yeah, it's super epic.
It's got some hills. It's got some peaks and valleys for sure. So I'm walking, I people start talking like, oh, what's going on here, man? F Atlanta. Like, I was like, oh, okay.
Very aggressive.
Very aggressive. I didn't have no Charlotte friends to protect me, but I was like, you know what? It's all good. And I remember I hold up the scarf, and then someone's like, what is that, Harry Potter? What is that, Harry Potter scarf? Like, all right, that's fine. But at least we don't have PSLs. That's all I'm going to say. At least we don't have PSLs. And that's all I want to add. I have respect for Charlotte, but that's the thing, right? It's like a cousin rivalry. The rivalry that you and I have, it's like the competition you have. Everybody has that cousin that you compete with, okay? Like it or not, whether it's generated by the aunt, if it's generated by yourself, or especially in the Latino culture, right? It's bound to happen. People want to compete, but that's okay as long as it doesn't get violent. Los terrenos, tranquilo. Right? Can we all just get along? Please? But that is exciting, right? The fact that okay, cool. And I remember being in the stadium watching the game. It was really hot because obviously you guys don't have a roof, and I get it. Our stadium's new, like we just got it, and Bank of America has been around for a while, and it's funny because the second video on the channel was when Mexico played Trinidad at Bank of America. So it's kind of crazy how like we're all kind of really connected, right? How the channel is going to come together. And believe me, we want to expand. We want to visit all the stadiums. We really want to get to know a lot of these cities, countries. We're speaking it into existence. So look, listen, if you're listening out there and you're a season ticket holder, or you're passionate about a team, right, or a nation or whatnot, allow us in your home, allow us in your stadium, allow us in your city or your favorite restaurant, whatever. Show us around. We want to document it. We want to hang out. We want to meet new people. This is an open invitation. You see us out on the street, yo, I want to jump on the podcast. Hey, I want to do an interview on a video. That's what it's all about. You got a business or something, we're here to support each other, okay? Even if you're a Charlotte FC fan, I'm here for you, okay? I'm here. Even if you're a Club America fan or a Cowboys fan, right? These are teams that I don't support.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
I'm excited. That's going to be exciting, and we have some content brewing for that. And right, we're in the southeast area of the country, but we're very excited for what's to come. We have some things planned for the Northeast, for the Midwest, a little bit of everything.
Shout out to the Midwest.
We got a little something in Austin. We're aiming for as well, and far on and far out. Right. I think we're gonna really get with the family, and as we start with the friends, and we're hoping in this journey that we've embarked on, we meet a lot of new people. So please come hang out. Come follow the page. Send us a DM. Don't be shy. We're here for everybody. So yes, the Charlotte game. It was hot. I remember. So we had that. What we had against you is that we beat y'all last minute, right? And y'all fell to the ground the same time. It was crazy. Like that.
Can I just say something? The ref. I mean, see, we tied it, right? We tied the game. Adam Armour.
We're going back to the bins again. Okay, go ahead.
No, hold on. You're saying
there's no rules here, David. There's no rules. Go ahead and vent. Go ahead.
All right.
This is your time.
Because you're saying that Atlanta, they beat us. Everyone fell to the ground. The players, yes.
I'll get into what you did. I'm getting into what y'all did. Go ahead.
No, okay. The ref is very questionable this season. I don't mean to complain about the refs. I don't mean to be that person, but the ref for that game. Oh, well, hold on. Atlanta United can't tie or lose to this team. It's a new team. Whoa. We're gonna give the most minutes, like 10. It was a very exaggerated amount of minutes that they gave of extra time for Atlanta United, and you guys just had to win. It was gonna happen one way or another. So that's all I gotta say. I felt it was very, and even the penalty that you guys got with Joseph Martinez scored, very soft penalty. I mean,
Joseph, I'm missing.
Whatever. I mean, it's fine. But continue.
For any Atlanta United fans out there, Joseph, we miss you. Okay.
Hey.
Legend. Build the statue.
Legend. No.
Build the statue.
Bring him back for a couple seasons with Miami. Come on. Do the right thing. Smoke that nigga out. Come on. What's going on there?
There's a lot.
That wasn't right. That wasn't right.
Of course not. But look, all I'm going to say is that
he's going to come back.
No, and I hope so.
There's no way that Joseph Martinez story ends like that. There's no way. All right. Continue, sir.
No, you're good. I that was good. You vented, and I understand, and people, and that's what is sports. Oh, I mean, when you want to go flashback.
That game is gonna be crazy, man. In March, 2 weeks from now, be ready. It's gonna be, oh man.
All right, so let's close this Atlanta Charlotte thing out. The matchups from last year. This is almost like a preview of what's happening in a couple weeks, and when we're planning to have someone from Charlotte. I'm gonna be outnumbered in a couple of weeks when we're sitting down and discussing the game that's to come. I'm excited about that. It's gonna be funny because he's got away with words, and we're not gonna give away too much, but that's gonna be fun. And then afterwards we'll recap with an Italian, good friend of mine, and then you'll be outnumbered. But we'll see what happens there. But closing out the my experience when I was in Charlotte and watching my first or my second Charlotte game, right? The first one being at the Bins. It was hot. And I remember this older couple behind me. And that's the beautiful thing. I think it's awesome that, when you go to these games, you see all the different ethnicities, all ages, all types of people, passionate for the sport that 10 years ago was non-existent here, right? And
yeah.
So I remember this older gentleman with his wife. I remember he tapped me on the shoulder like, yeah, you see them over there pointing at at your supporters group. And believe me, come on, you've seen the Bins get loud. But it's funny because it's like he was just now experiencing this, right? Like Charlotte was brand new. I mean, this was probably the 4th, 5th game you guys have played, and it's exciting, right? It's exciting for him. And he's like, you're about to see them get loud. You better hang on. And I'm like, I'm respectful. I'm not like, do you know who I am? Like, no. I keep it chill. I was like, hey man, let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. I'm all about keeping the peace. Yeah. I mean, we're Italians. Like, shout out Ludacris, disturbing the peace and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, Mexican Italian, like to keep it chill. I want no drama. Okay, I'm just here to have a good time. And you guys scored that Olympic goal that ended up winning the game.
Incredible.
It was a dance. It was a dagger.
And Olivia, an Olympic.
And I still remember, Sean throughout the game, over and over again, we ain't at the Benz now. We ain't at the Benz now. Everyone winning Sean. Yes, shout out to him. And Mr. Sean, congratulations. You are a father, and from a father to another father. Welcome to the club. I can't wait to chit chat with you when I'm in Charlotte a couple of weeks from now. That's gonna be exciting. But dude, I'm so excited for what's to come, because I have a daughter, I have a son, and it's like those memories that you're making. I mean, they're unlike anything. They inspire you to keep moving forward, and it's always great. Like when you have the little ones, they start going to the games and they got the little jersey on. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, Sean, we need a round of applause for Sean. Congratulations, my brother. Let's get a clap. Let's get a clap going, Mr. Vic. Don't smack the mic though.
Sorry, I got a little excited. Congratulations, Sean, and as well. And they will be going to the Atlanta match. That's what he's told me. That they will be
here in Atlanta.
Atlanta match.
Here in Atlanta.
Yeah. That's what he said. Yeah, he's bringing his his family, so that should be good.
That's awesome. Hey, Sean, I'll be right here with a plate of wings. A cold drink, whatever you need. Please let me know. We'll gladly host you guys. And yes, obviously, shout out to mom. Mom's always hold it down. We see y'all. It's hard work, and shout out to all the moms out there. But yes, Mr. Sean was going all in on me, and it was fun. It's fine. He was hyped. You guys won the game. There's a clip of that video, which I'm gonna drop it here.
Yeah, it's on my Twitter.
There's gonna be a lot of editing tonight. Goodness gracious, what I'm doing to myself. Moment. But if you're watching the video version of this, this was when the game ended, and Victor and Pat and you guys are just celebrating. But I've always been one to always have the phone out, document everything, right? Because I think it's great to kind of go back and relive those moments. Even if it was not my moment, I get to share it with whoever was. If I think it was like the end of the year, I sent you that clip, or I think it was the end of the season. You were recapping.
And it was when everyone was recapping Charlotte FC, like the favorite moment and stuff. You're like, yo, put this on, and it was, oh wow, it's great.
And I sent you that video, and anyways, yeah, I mean, it was quite the experience. And yeah, that was it. I mean, throughout the season, I think Atlanta and Charlotte. And I just want to say something in that game. There was no Joseph Martinez.
Fortunately, no, he got injured. So.
It's not trying to be an excuse, but to be honest, Atlanta United from last season just wasn't generating the type of football that 2017, 2018, 2019 was there to offer. I know in this podcast we've really been kind of catching up and kind of getting to know each other and kind of recapping and remembering a lot of our memories. And we really got into the Atlanta and Charlotte, right? That's what's happening right now, right? You guys are in year 2. We're in our 7th year, and man, it's really been quite a journey, and it's beautiful that we have this in our cities. So what I want to bring up next, I did, and I think maybe for the next podcast, I'll kind of recap a little bit about my history in regards to. It's a big backstory about like the MySpace days and how kind of we all really became designers. And I think that's a whole nother rabbit hole, right? But I do want to kind of touch. We want to touch on some subjects that have been happening, starting with the MLS playoff format. That's really new, right? And I think across the world, in the soccer world, well, in Europe, right? The leagues. It's really, they play a full regular season and that's it. Whoever's first place takes the ship. But then you have over here on the Western Hemisphere, South American leagues, Central America, North America, specifically MLS and Liga MX. We have a playoff format. Now, the only difference between Mexico and the United States is that Mexico does 2 seasons in a year. Clausura, Apertura, there's 2 champions and all that good stuff. But in MLS, they have a full long year regular season, and with football, college football, and other sports going on, they've made it to where MLS is on a different timetable, right?
It doesn't overlap.
Right. They start in March. We start in March. MLS starts in March, and it ends in November, sometimes December. Wow, Liga MX follows what the world does in the soccer world, which is everything usually starts July, August, and ends in May, right? And they give everyone that summer break.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna pop these glasses in real quick. Excuse the glare for the video version, but I do want to show here the new playoff format for MLS, and it's like unlike anything that's ever been done before. What we're gonna look at the Audi 2023 MLS Cup playoff schedule and format. Playoff start October 25th through 26th. And it's kind of similar to like Liga MX is doing, right? Where unfortunately they have it's called repechaje, where the teams between 5th place and 12th place, they play a single elimination match to enter quarterfinals. But after the debacle that happened in the 2022 FIFA World Cup, that ends the season. So we're thankful for that. I believe they're going to go back to just the top 8 teams advance. But in MLS, and I believe that the reason they're doing this, and by the way, with Apple coming into play, supporting MLS in regards to their broadcast and all that great stuff, I did hear that the uniforms really upgraded because Apple's like, hey, listen, if we're going to team up, you guys got to get your stuff together. And I think, oh yeah, 100%. And I think that's why with the playoff format, they're kind of United stating it a little bit, and that's kind of made a word on my behalf because I'm thinking about NBA, right? I'm thinking about MLB, NHL, Major League Baseball, where playoffs are not settled in one game or 2 games. They're usually settled in outside of MLB wildcard back in the day, that was a 1-game series. I believe now the format has changed where there's 3 games to be played, or best out of 3. And that's what this is being introduced here. So if we look at round 1, and no, let me go back. There's a wild card scene. This is Audi 23 wild card matches, right? There's going to be 2 single elimination matches hosted by the higher seed. So this is going to be the 8th and 9th place team from both conferences, Eastern and Western. So the 8th place team would host from each conference. So out of these 2 teams, 1 would qualify. So then you would have 8 teams from the West and 8 teams from the East enter round 1, right? And we're hoping Atlanta United finishes first, and we'd be playing one of these 8th or 9th place teams. But for my personal opinion, I mean, we can go ahead and shoot it out there, right? As we're kind of multitasking here. From the West and the East, those are people I've been catching some heat out there with giving their opinions. Might have been clickbait. It might have been clickbait. You look, clickbait, because sometimes drama is good, right? Sometimes news, any type of news is good news, right? I mean, in regards to like getting clicks and all that good stuff. But we're gonna be honest here. Me from the Western, I mean, LAFC to me is, I mean, since they've been in the league, they've been competing. They've never slacked. I got to give them props. I still remember seeing that 5-0 we gave them back in 2018. I remember one with my father. That was great. But, those were on Jose Martinez days. Times have changed. LAFC to me, I think they go back to MLS Cup. And, of course, yeah, I want to say Atlanta goes, right? But if I didn't have to say Atlanta, who would I say? It's difficult. Nashville, they like to get sneaky. But they haven't reinforced their team. I've been seeing on Twitter a lot of Nashville SC fans are a little bit bummed that they didn't get maybe, a couple more signings, right? I feel like every team has really done their due diligence to build up their squads, and that's exciting, right? Every season kind of building up there, but man, it's tough. East, I mean, I'll be selfish to say LA United versus, LAFC would be the MLS Cup final, but Philadelphia Union, like it or not, they're always there trying to put up a fight. They're quite annoying, respectfully, especially with that track. You know what's funny? That track that they play after they score a goal. You know who does that now? Cruz Azul. And you know, I don't think they do it in the stadium. I think they do it like on their social media posts. It's weird. I mean, I remember I heard it. I'm like, wait a minute, doesn't this belong to the union? I wasn't too sure. But
Interesting.
anyways, look, I want to be selfish. Say Atlanta United and LAFC MLS Cup. And then I guess I'll throw out there it could be a part 2, right? With Philadelphia Union playing LAFC again. I wouldn't like that, but I'm just kind of throwing stuff at the wall. I hope. I mean, believe me, I hope Charlotte FC makes it to the playoffs just to see you go to a playoff game. I think you deserve that. You know, you've been working hard. That'd be fun. Imagine Atlanta United, Charlotte FC, best of 3. What? I mean, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. So that's why it's kind of exciting because I feel like and a lot of people hate it, right? And I think because people are thinking about the skill level and how like the rest of the world doesn't actually do that, right? But it does guarantee you have a home playoff game. And I also think it's about money, man. Like you guarantee
It's about money.
By the way, 0-4, 0-4,
Oh, man.
Lisa, le estamos dando los Santos. And it's Will, I'm very happy right
I
now.
hope you're sleeping a little well. I hope you're not watching the game.
Right now. You might be sleeping right now. I mean, it is sleeping 23 right now.
He's going to wake up really upset to this. I'm going to call him in the morning.
I love Fernandez scored, by the way.
Recap. The MLS Cup final last.
We're jumping around, but please, you get to it real quick, Big. Who's your MLS Cup final predictions, and then we'll finalize this playoff format real quick that we're sharing here.
Yes, just go back to the LAFC Philadelphia Union. What an fantastic, entertaining final that one was. Everyone thought Philadelphia Union had it, and out of nowhere, LAFC just comes from behind and ties it up. Gareth Bale, what a fantastic match he had, and they won it in PKs. It was great. It was a fantastic final, very entertaining. From the West, I definitely see LAFC definitely up there. Austin, I mean, maybe even throw LA Galaxy in there. You never know. And then from the East, for sure, Philadelphia Union, NYFC, Nashville. You know, you can argue it. Atlanta United, and I don't want to venture out and say Charlotte FC goes to the final. Right? I believe that everyone that follows MLS and has a club that they're passionate about, you should have the positive mindset that, hey, my team is going to go do well this season. Because if you're going to start the season off saying, oh, well, here we go again, we're going to do terrible, and that's very it's very sad. It's very sad. I'm saying positive. I'm saying I'm being realistic here. I say Charlotte, you know, from what I like the players that we have that have come in. I think towards the half of the last season, we were doing pretty bad, but we were still managing to win somehow some of the games. Halfway towards the season, they fire our ex-coach Mar. Now we have Latanzio, and you know he also had a little bit of trouble at the beginning. Towards the end, he figured it out, and now we have some players that have come in: Enzo Capetti, Ashley Westwood. There's been a very, very big how can I say this? They have really generated hype within the community. We're all very looking forward to this season. Last season, we didn't have a team. We didn't have anything to look forward to, and it was like, well, we'll take what we can get. But now we have something where we have a playing style. Now we really have a shot at making playoffs for sure. I say we finish in the top 4 or 5. We're in there. We're in playoffs, and that's it. For now, that's all I can say. We make playoffs. We got to go step by step. It would be crazy for me to say we go to MLS Cup final. But don't get me wrong. That would be fantastic. If we go to the MLS Cup final, believe me, I'll be there. I'll be there wherever it's at. I mean, I want the star. I want multiple stars on top of this beautiful crest. But I'll say we finish in top 4 or 5, and we make playoffs. And whatever happens, happens. But we gotta play our first playoff game first. We can't venture around and say we're gonna go to the MLS Cup final. That's crazy. It's wacky. We got to get to the playoffs first. So that's all I have to say on that one.
No, I think in MLS, anything is possible. Anything can happen. I know Real Salt Lake, for example, they get in the playoffs. They get sneaky. I've seen a couple things. I remember like 2 years ago, they took out Seattle, and they were on a run. I think they almost made. I think Minnesota, right? They made it to a Western Conference final as well. They're very close to making it to the final. No, I mean, I think when it comes to the playoffs, I mean, anything can happen. It's such a long season, and that's why I think. And that's why I'm gonna bring up the schedule again real quick. Really gonna break it down so everybody understands how it works. But this kind of gives the opportunity to see who the real team is, right? When you do single elimination games from the very beginning, I feel like you could let a whole season go to waste in just one game. And I feel like when you do a best of 3, and I know it's crazy, but I kind of get excited about that because it reminds me of baseball a lot, but if you lose that first game, you have redemption. You could still go, redeem yourself, especially if like maybe you're playing away first and you get to go home. Can you imagine the energy in that stadium with the fans like rooting you on? Like, and that's why a lot of people on Twitter were like, why not just do 2 legs? And I agree with that. I mean, that's what happened in Mexico. They do 2 legs, quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final. So that way, evenly, you play a game in Team A stadium and another game Team B stadium, and then all fans get to enjoy that. That's why the single elimination match was kind of gut-wrenching because you took that away, having another opportunity. I mean, look at UEFA Champions League. Look at the tournaments that go on from a club perspective all over Europe, Europa League. You have those 2 legs, and that's great because both fan bases get to participate in that energy. So let's break it down. It's round 1, best of 3. Right, and higher seed hosts the first match, lower seed hosts the second match, and then if they both win if each team wins a game, then that third match would be it, right? And after each match, there can be a tie match. No one can tie, so there has to be a winner in each game. So that's exciting. After 90 minutes, if they stay tied, they'll go straight to penalty kicks, and that's how that'll go. Best of 3 series. Got to win 2 games to advance. After that, you get into the conference semifinals, which that means that's basically the quarterfinals because there's 8 teams left, right? And that will be a single elimination match. And I think that's good. You've already done, it's going to be crazy. What if like each series in the best of 3, they all go to 3 games? It's going to be a lot of games, So getting into the conference semifinals as a single elimination, same thing for conference final, another single elimination match to bring that to 4 teams left, and then getting that down to 2 teams left on the MLS Cup. It's gonna be fun. So let me bring it down because I want to clip this. So let me bring it back to the top. So I will edit this, clean this up. But round 1 is a best of 3 series. Match 1, higher seed hosts. Match 2, lower seed hosts. Each team wins. By the way, 0 to 5. Sorry. Oh my goodness. 0 to 5. The low is meetings. I think we should always do a podcast. Yeah. We should always do a podcast when Toluca is playing so we can always win 5-0. Lou Will, my brother. Fuerzas. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. If you want to talk, WhatsApp me. We can talk about it.
Wow.
But let's get back to this once again. Round 1, best of 3 series, right? You got to win 2 out of the 3 matches. If you can win the first 2, you're automatically in. You go straight to penalty kicks. If after 90 minutes, it's tied. After that means 16 teams go down to 8 teams in the conference semifinals. And that'll be a single elimination match with the higher seed hosting. From then on, you go on to the conference finals where there's only 4 teams left. East and West, single elimination match, higher seed host, and then MLS Cup, the last 2 teams standing, higher seed host, and there you have it. I think it's going to be exciting. And by the way, every postseason game, everywhere on MLS Season Pass. How do you feel about that Season Pass, man? Do you feel like it limits us with not having really nationally televised games up until the playoffs? Is there any, you feel a certain way about that?
Actually, I did read somewhere. I don't know if it applies to every single team, but there will be a a couple games that will be nationally televised, like Charlotte Atlanta will be nationally televised on Big Fox. I think that there's a couple that will be televised nationally. But yeah, I think it does limit it a little bit, but there has been efforts made. I think I saw the other day DirecTV has added that as I think a package or an add-on to their subscribers. And if you have T-Mobile, we're not sponsored by them, but if you have T-Mobile, I believe that they are offering it to their clients as well for free. So, it's very good. For the price, it's very great compared to like a UFC match or boxing where it's like $100, 100 whatever dollars, and it's a lot. It's a lot, but for this you get over. I mean, every team plays an ungodly amount of matches, so it's a lot of matches. So for the price range, it's great. For the price range, it is great. And you can watch it anywhere, literally. I mean, there were some games last season that I wish I could have watched, but I didn't have all those add-on packages for everything. So now I can watch it on my iPhone, on the tablet, on the go, everywhere. And I can go back and be more in tune with MLS. So I like it. I like the idea. I wish Liga MX did something similar. I know they're trying to do it with a couple of other streaming packages, but they're all over the place. They've broken it down with some teams are on a certain streaming platform. Others are on a different one. And I like that MLS is more structured than Liga MX. They have all the teams on here. You have all the content. It's very nice. If you haven't looked on there, subscribe. They have the yearly package or the monthly package. It's fantastic. From what I've seen so far, it's great. So I love it. Shout out to Apple. Thank you. Thank you for doing this and for growing the sport. And they're investing a lot of money into this. So it's great. I love it.
I really like that you can switch back and forth between the Apple TV broadcast and then the radio broadcasts, right? For example, here in Atlanta, we have 92.9 The Game, and we have Jason Longshore and Mike Conti, and they've been here since the beginning. And the only way you could listen to their matches back in the day with Bally Sports. And look, Bally Sports, I hope you guys go down. I hope you guys are just finished. You guys are done. You've taken Atlanta Braves baseball from me. You've taken it away from me because I had YouTube TV. Bally Sports took over, last season. I mean, about 3 seasons ago. I'm not really sure how long it's been. But in order for me to even get Bally Sports and watch Atlanta Braves baseball, Atlanta Hawks, and Atlanta United, I had to pay almost $109 a month to DirecTV to even get the channel. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And
that's robbery. That's horrible.
That's why I'm glad Apple TV has taken back the MLS. I've taken it back for the first time. There's no blackouts. So you being, anyone who's in the Charlotte area can actually watch Charlotte FC play anywhere. Same thing for Atlanta United, because back then we couldn't. I mean, we had to stream it. We had to figure out how we're going to watch it, Facebook it, whatever. I mean, shout out to the people that are kind of, are kind of rebel out there to kind of show us the sports because we don't have access to it, right? Or if you use VPN or whatnot to try to get in there. So the fact that Apple TV right now has taken MLS, they also have featuring this channel. They're gonna have a show when there's a time slot. For example, this weekend coming up at the 7:30, there's gonna be like 5, 6, 7, 8 games playing at the same time. They're gonna have a thing called MLS 360. It's gonna be very similar to NFL Red Zone, where they're gonna go back to anything that's exciting. And I don't know exactly how they're gonna structure it or how it's gonna be displayed, but I know it's going to be like NFL Red Zone, where you're going to be able to see all the highlights in live time. Like, looks like there's a goal in Cincinnati. Let's shift over there. And then you put that game on, and you'll have the scores going on at the same time. So it's going to be exciting. And the only thing that I hope for that I don't know, I've tried to research it. I haven't found it. You let me know if you know. They better have the full match replays that I can always go back throughout the season. If I want to go, watch the Atlanta United Charlotte again or whatever match, right? I can go back and watch the full 90 minutes. I don't just want the recap. I want the full 90 minutes. I want to be able to choose between the two broadcasts, and same thing for MLS 360. Because, I can't watch every game at the same time, but if I had the power to go back and watch it, then I know for sure it'll have been worth it. Obviously, I'm a season ticket holder, so I got a code in my family plan. Everybody gets it. But that is the one thing I asked for, that we can have full match replays with Apple TV Season Pass.
Yes,
So
that would be great. That way we can watch all the games because, like you mentioned, last season there were a lot of blackouts for a lot of MLS teams. There were games that I wanted to watch and I could. But shout out to the people of Charlotte FC that they within our app. I don't know if other teams in their inaugural season did this, but we did. In our app, we had the option to watch the game live. So they streamed it for free for the first season. Now Apple TV has cut. Now that's here, and I don't think that's going to happen anymore. But it was very good because there were some blackouts. But if you went in the app, there was ways around it, and you could watch the game. And yeah, I agree with you. Hopefully that the 90 minutes are out there because now we can actually watch as much MLS as we want. It's fantastic. It's great. We can go back and watch the full 90 minutes. Not because sometimes, yeah, you can watch a YouTube video or a recap, but I want to watch the full thing and be able to switch from the radio broadcast to the English broadcast to Spanish broadcast. I don't know how many other languages there are out there that are part of this MLS package, but it's very exciting to see talents like Rodolfo Landeros, our good friend.
we got to meet him a couple years back when Mexico was playing Paraguay. We saw him at Whiskey Blue over there at the W Hotel. Good guy. And, it was nice to see him there. Kind of, really, cool guy to go up to. Those people that are in those positions. It's nice to be a man of the people. And then we saw him again at the Georgia Dome. And we were like front row. And, I want to say that maybe he told the camera guy.
I think he hooked it up for us, so we were able to be on the Mexico game. When the celebration, I believe we were on there twice. When Mexico scored, and prior to that, we were just like, "Oh, hey, we're here." We were super hype. It was great. So shout out to Rodolfo. And yeah, it was great seeing someone you look up to, someone that's there, and you meet them, and they're great. Also, shout out to Pablo Ramirez, La Torre de Jalisco, who has been a legendary. To me, one of the best commentators, narradores that we have in Spanish language broadcasts for Univision. Olazo, aso, aso. And now he's going to be in Apple TV. And
he is? Okay, good. I was just about to ask you that if he was.
Yeah, he is. And remember that I kind of spoke it into existence just between me and you. I never tweeted it. I forgot to. And I was like, man, Apple, guys, you got to get this guy. You got to get this guy. I was very happy. I tweeted him and he liked it, so I'm very happy that he's back on there. He had, I guess, finished his contract with Univision and he was gone. But it's not the same without him. I do miss hearing him. But I'm happy he's over here now. So hopefully he gets to comment on some of the Charlotte FC games this season. Hopefully he goes to the Bank of America Stadium. That'd be great. Hopefully we can run into him. That'd be fantastic.
Well, I think we've talked a lot about MLS, really putting it all out there here in this first podcast. I do want to, kind of start wrapping this up, but we're going to have a little rapid fire section because I do want to cover some other items in regards to what's been going on around the world and other sports. But just before we leave the topic of soccer, we do got to talk about real quick two things. I do want to talk about real quick. You can just kind of give me your opinion, keep it brief. Same for me. Barcelona, Manchester United. I'm a Barca fan. Manchester United beat Barcelona in the Europa League in the quarterfinals round of 16. I apologize, round 16. And it was devastating. I think Barcelona has just been kind of coming. I was talking to a couple friends earlier today, letting them know how comparing, Barca to Real Madrid, and obviously we're doing better than Real Madrid in the La Liga with 8 points above them on the table, leading in first place. But when it comes to the European tournaments, right, Real Madrid, as you saw, took out Liverpool 5-2. Over and over again, I hate it, but Madrid keeps being consistent and setting a foot forward, and it's devastating.
Smashing Liverpool.
They
keep smashing them all the time.
I made a great video. Wally, if you do end up listening to this, I do want to say I apologize, but I had to make that meme video, and I'm gonna show the video right here, real quick glimpse right here, because this happened. I saw it on Twitter, right, and I'm like, man, Wally's a big Liverpool fan, and I had to really take advantage of the moment and kind of show him suffering a little bit because he dogs him like Toluca. He's a Chivas fan, so I like to kind of dog on him whenever Liverpool does bad. But even though Liverpool beat Newcastle over the weekend, so we're just jabbing each other back and forth. But it's all love. It's all part of the sports life experience, right? But to come back on the Barcelona Man U, it's been devastating. Seeing Barcelona has always been so inconsistent. We never have. Every lineup is different. I mean, I love Xavi and all that great stuff, but I'm hoping Messi comes back, right? Or, and we can start rebuilding the team again. And maybe, he'll be here another year or two. That would be great. And if not, at least start preparing that base. I know the younger players are coming in. I know Copa del Rey is coming back. So, look, my dream is that Madrid just simply doesn't advance any further in the Champions League once quarterfinals begin, which I think is going to be tough because they're just really good in that stage. And as a Barca fan, I'm always kind of going against them. They're going against us, but they've had the last couple of years. So Copa del Rey is coming up. Congratulations to Manchester United for advancing. I have a lot of friends who go for Manchester United. I think Man U's on the come up. We won't talk about Premier League this week, but Manchester United is definitely on the come up, and I'm hoping that they can get into the Champions League. I think it's fun to have the top teams playing in the top tournaments across Europe. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm not gonna be bitter, but Barca just simply didn't deserve it. There's no creativity on the field, so dagger to the heart. I don't know if you want to mention anything in regards to. I didn't know if you mentioned if you have a European team, Victor. I know you've kind of been. I know you were like an Rafa Marquez fan. I know you respected.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to mention from the Europe side of things?
Yeah. Well, I think I guess my team has been Barcelona because of Rafa Marquez, Ronaldinho, but that's about it. I don't like to venture off too much in EPL or other. I like supporting Mexican foreign players. I think that's always exciting, but I wouldn't consider myself a full hardcore fan. But yeah, if I had to choose one in Europe, it would definitely be Barcelona. EPL, it's an exciting league to watch. I don't really have a team. I guess since last season, a lot of my friends out there in the Charlotte area, they go for Spurs, for Tottenham. So I guess I kind of, I watch here and there every now that I can. I wouldn't consider myself a full fan, but that they definitely, it's exciting games and they do suffer a lot. So, but yeah, I don't really have a European team, just besides Barcelona. But yeah,
Maybe in the future, right?
Maybe in the future. I mean, Spurs is there, but I don't want to latch on and bandwagon here. But yeah, Manchester United, they're on the come up. They lost for Ronaldo and that whole debacle that they had. Now he's gone, and he signed the multi-million-dollar contract with his team in Saudi Arabia. And you would think a team like Manchester would fall apart, but no, that they've continued and looks like
Done better.
They're eventually going to where they used to be. And Barcelona, ever since Messi left, that they haven't really figured it out. But now in the recent season, they did win. What did they win? Was it the Copa del Rey or the Super Cup that they beat Madrid in? That was a very exciting match, just not that long ago. That they beat was it Copa del Rey?
Checking
Barcelona.
Checking that right now. I'm also the production guy.
But yeah, Liverpool. I mean, it's always a little sad. Shout out to Salah. It was very heartbreaking for Egypt not to go to the World Cup. I think he's one of the best players out there, and unfortunately Egypt didn't qualify. And I like him. I think he's one of the top players. Hopefully one day in the future he can come to MLS. And Liverpool, man, it was they're really not doing that well in the EPL. And Madrid had lost to Mallorca not that long ago, and it kind of boasted a couple Liverpool fans and say, hey, that they lost to Mallorca, maybe we're gonna crush them. They were up 2-0, and Madrid does what they always do. Shout out to Benzema. 5 goals, man. That was the first time Liverpool had ever conceded 5 goals in a European tournament. So historic. It was a debacle. I believe that. Yes.
I wanted to add, no, it was Supercopa that Barcelona won. So just confirm that
Supercopa,
2023.
okay.
So yeah, that is correct. I do believe you had mentioned it. But yeah, if you want to continue on, yeah, I mean, I looked around. I was like, oh, Liverpool's winning 2-0. Perfect, right? I mean, I'm always going against.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect 5 goals. That's. I don't believe that Liverpool can come back from that. But hey, it's soccer. Football. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But I don't think at Real Madrid's home that Liverpool can pull that off. I highly doubt it. I can see Real Madrid advancing, and I know you don't like it. And a shout out to our good friend Johan, the biggest Real Madrid fan that I know. I believe Madrid has a good shot of being in the at least the semifinals. They're going to be close to getting another one, so it's going to be a long summer if they do it again.
Oh man, don't even say that, man. Don't even say that. Shout out Johan. I mean, he's literally got it tatted on him, so that's when you know it's real.
Yeah,
100%. But yeah, okay. We can move over to the Western Hemisphere real quick. Liga MX. I do want to ask you, right? And I think Tuca Ferretti. That's been the talk of the town this week. Tuca Ferretti is a legendary coach who's basically coached every team. He's coached 3 of the 4 top championship teams. He's coached Chivas. He's coached Toluca, and now he's coaching Cruz Azul. And now it would just America, right, would be the one left that he hasn't coached.
He's coach Pumas as well.
He's right.
So yeah, I see what you're saying.
Understand the top 4 winning teams, but yeah, he did coach Pumas, and then obviously he won most of his championships with Tigres. Shout out Tigres, of course. Great afición. I think Monterrey and Tigres, I gotta respect them for having fans, and there's a lot of drama behind that. So hope we don't get killed, but it's sports. You can make everybody happy. But shout out Manny, big Tigres fan. I want to shout out my good friend Guax, a big Monterrey fan. I have another friend. His name's Chevo. And he put me on back in the day in the nightlife scene, so I owe a lot to him as well. But he's a big Monterrey fan. When Monterrey came here and played against Atlanta United, that was cool. I saw he got to meet the players, and once I know Guax went to the final when Monterrey, I believe, lost to Tigres or lost to Pachuca. He was getting trolled on, but still a true fan to go out there and witness that final. So, Tuca Ferretti, just want to ask you, man, do you think he succeeds in Cruz Azul? There's a lot of people, while the media I've been reading are kind of leaning towards no. I personally think he's such a strict coach that players will be on their best behavior to make things happen. I feel like Cruz Azul, there's been a lot of drama over there. Cruz Azul, I mean, you're an America fan, so, Cruz Azul, you've respectfully owned them over the last couple of years, and any Cruz Azul fans out there, I do apologize, but yeah, it's happened. I mean, there's no denying, and they've gone through a rough patch. They finally won a league title, right? They hadn't won anything in like 20 years, and they won in 2020, right? People are like, man, the pandemic had to happen for Cruz Azul to win. But ever since then, I have a good friend of mine named Angel, Mr. Angel, El Socio. He mentioned to me that Cruz Azul, right, they won the championship, but then they broke down the team. Like, they just basically sold everybody. And it's unfortunate, when a team does that. And I think that happens in all types of sports where, you win the ship, kind of like Atlanta United and Buccaneers selling everybody. Sorry, I broke out, but what are your thoughts on Cruz Azul, man? Do you think Tuca Ferretti, puts them where they need to be? Does he stay there for his full contract? Any thoughts from an Americanista, but really from a neutral perspective, if you can? Let us know your thoughts on that.
Speaking as a Club America fan, I sure hope not. But speaking as a neutral fan, no, Tuca Ferretti is a great coach, very serious guy. He's not playing around. he's always wherever he's been, Pumas, Tigres. It didn't go so well for him, I guess, at Chivas. Wherever he's gone, he's always had a little bit of success, or great success, I should say. With Juarez, I think that's the only time where he didn't really succeed much. But I believe, it is a little bit, I wouldn't say halfway in the season, but I guess he didn't really build a team to his liking. So probably after the summer, I'm not sure how long the contract is that he's going to be there for, but yeah, definitely Tuca Ferretti is going to put the team in tip-top shape. Just look at Tigres. When he got there, Tigres only had 2 championships, and when he left them with so many championships, international trophies as well. Gignac, all those players that are just he built a dynasty with Tigres. So maybe Cruz Azul is looking to do the same with him there. So I think he should have a good bit of success building a very formidable team. I obviously want America to keep winning championships, so I definitely don't want to see Cruz Azul champion, but I believe Tuca Ferretti will have a very good standing with Cruz Azul for however long he's there. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. I too think I personally think Tuca will do. I think he'll do good. I think he'll do more damage entering next season. He just showing up, and he probably doesn't have. How Liga MX is like. Most coaches want to have the players. They want to bring in some players that play their style and stuff like that. So I think maybe entering next season, we'll get a better idea of how Cruz Azul plays with Tuca. But a fun thing is that Atlanta United, Inter Miami, and Cruz Azul are in the same. So I finally get to see Tuca Ferretti live. I hope so. I don't want anything crazy to happen and Cruz Azul loses like 10 games in a row and, they fire him because that's Liga MX style. But I'm assuming he'll do enough, right, to stick around, and we'll have Tuca Ferretti at the bins. And that's actually a game I'll be taking my Tio Mariano to. Shout out him. My Tio Mariano was somebody who, as a kid, for a couple of years, he lived with us, and he would always bring me the newest Toluca FC jersey. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. But so I'm taking him to the game, so he gets to see Cruz Azul live, and I think it'll be his first time in those club seats at the bin. So it's always nice bringing people that haven't been.
Very nice.
Mercedes-Benz Club. We're not in the Delta side, but it's still very, very nice. 100% field access, all that great stuff. So if you sit in that section and you happen to run across this podcast, please say what's up. Love to get your number, chit chat, whatever. Okay, so real quick, NBA, NHL, golf, NASCAR, F1, UFC, boxing, anything, man. I do want to kind of come to the conclusion here. We've been going on, we've been ranting. A lot of the MLS, a lot of the stuff that we care about in the future podcasts, we definitely will expand a little bit more on everything else that's going on. But, NBA is back. Anything you want to say, mention, that's kind of my piece of the pie there in regards to the NBA. I'm a big Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young. We just fired a coach. But we're about 2 months away from playoffs starting. Obviously, NBA playoffs, that's when everyone's really, in tune. The big story, well, LeBron James and the Lakers, win a ship. I think right now the favorites are the Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant. He just got traded from the Brooklyn Nets. The Dallas Mavericks also making some noise with Kyrie Irving going over there from the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets are just a mess now, rebuilding. And that's on the west side. You always have like Golden State Warriors there. They want to kind of make some noise. Denver Nuggets also with the Joker, or possible another MVP season. Shout out Hubert Chan, a good friend. We're playing NBA fantasy. I've been trying to convince Victor to jump into the fantasy world. Hopefully, entering the football season and the new basketball season at the end of this year, maybe we can get him to come on now that we got this happening. But hey, no pressure. You and I, we're made for each other. We're opposites attract, right? So you kind of do some things that I don't do, and I do some things you don't do, and that's kind of what makes this relationship, this friendship, and this family ship work. But I'm shouting out Hubert because he does reside in Colorado. He's a big Orlando Magic fan. Hoping to have him soon in the future to chat about that. But he lives in Colorado. I know he went to a Nuggets game, and I believe it was against the Magic. So that's pretty cool. With NBA, with the playoffs coming up, it's fun when you play NBA fantasy because you kind of get a little bit in tune with some of the players you might not usually follow, and that's why I like fantasy sports. But NBA playoffs coming up. Victor, have you been keeping an eye on it? Is there a favorite team that you go for? I know you mentioned the Wizards earlier. Obviously, they're not, great. But, I know you're a big Kobe Bryant fan back in the day. And me, as a youngster in the 90s, I still remember Michael Jordan. Remember having the bootleg Chicago Bulls?
Oh.
I mean, is there anything you want to talk on NBA? Current, past, just a quick little chime. But if anybody's wondering, I see the NBA Finals being the Milwaukee Bucks against the Phoenix Suns. It would be part 2 because they faced each other off back in 2021 when the Hawks, and I gotta double check that, but we'll have a producer soon so he can check that. But the Hawks lost to the Bucks because Trae Young got injured, and then the Suns, I believe, took out the Clippers. Yeah, they took out the Clippers, and then the Suns went on. They were up 2-0 in the finals, and then the Milwaukee Bucks came back. So this will be part 2 of that series. Again, I think it would be fun, and I see Kevin Durant lifting the trophy with the Phoenix Suns. But in the NBA, anything can happen. But yes, Victor, do you have anything to add or anything? And when it comes to your relationship with the National Basketball Association?
Yeah. So just to bring it back, I believe my first ever game was, I don't know if it was 2005. I went with a friend and his dad to watch the Wizards versus Lakers. So I saw Shaq and Kobe there. I had my Gilbert Arenas jersey. It was great. That was my favorite player back then for the Wizards. It was great. And then I didn't see any more basketball. I mean, I would watch on TV and stuff, and it was cool. But I didn't go back until when it was your wedding weekend. It was like
that's right,
day or so before you got married. We bought the tickets.
Wow.
To be honest, and then it was to see Kobe, right? We're like, okay, yo, I was working at the office, and I called you up like, hey, this is gonna fall on the weekend you get married. Let's go to the game. How much are tickets? $50. All right, let's get them. Boom, boom, we got them. And the next day, Kobe Bryant announces, hey, this is my last season, the last dance. It's over. So those tickets that we originally got for $50, last day, exorbitant amount. It was crazy. So we were in there, and it was amazing seeing Kobe. I believe we got some good footage there, and it was great. It was great seeing the whole. Now, is it called the Safe Farm Arena now? I know that they
still called Safe Farm Arena. Yes, correct.
Arena. I don't know if it was the Phillips Arena back then. I think that's what it was. But to see them clap and cheer on Kobe every time he scored a basket, and it was great. That just talked about what a great basketball player he was. Rest in peace, Kobe. So that was the last time I saw a basketball game there. But it's always fun. It's always fun going. I have yet to catch on to a Hornets game. I gotta put it on the bucket list as well.
We gotta hit up a Hogs Hornets game for sure, man. 100%.
We have to, yeah. We gotta check the schedule. Maybe not this season, but next season. But we have to. And maybe a Falcons Panthers game. Like I said, I'm a Cowboys fan, but we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. We gotta.
Yeah, just for the vibes. I mean, obviously, I'll be going crazy, but you can be taking the footage for that one.
Yeah,
definitely.
But that's the only 2 games I've been to of NBA, but they've always been great. So, looking forward to some more in the future for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you for that history lesson. That's pretty epic. You need to send me. I think I don't know if it was on your Instagram or on your Twitter, or there's like a video or something. I remember when, that tragedy happened with Kobe. You posted it. I think it might have been a pic or a video when that game happened, the one you just referenced, the last game in Atlanta, the game that we saw, ironically in 2015 when we had originally started WAM Sports Life. So please send that over to me. So obviously, if you're watching the video version, you would have seen the clip already. That was historic. I do remember that day. That was a great day. That was a very great day.
Great day.
It was a historic day. So, how do you feel about, NHL, golf, tennis, F1, NASCAR, you want to make, do you have any history with any of this? Me, myself, I'll lay it down with NHL. Atlanta used to have the Thrashers. And then, it was back, I was much younger and didn't really have access to like drive around. And I think it was just like early 2000s. I heard the management was very bad, and that's why, Atlanta United did the opposite of what the Thrashers did. I heard that the Thrashers the people running the show didn't really connect with the community. And at the end of the day, if you want to build something, whether it's a brand, whether it's a company, whether it's anything like that, you need to be with the community. You need to connect yourself with them because they are the ones, right, at the end of the day that will pay, and especially when we're talking about sports, right? Season tickets, jersey sales, and that's why I love, like, Atlanta United. I have to reference where I live. They've built soccer fields across, various districts. They've come up with events. They make the game day experience immaculate. Incredible. The owner, Arthur Blank, has decided to give $2 hot dogs and $4 drinks. That's very affordable. That's great. That's great stuff. Atlanta Thrashers would play where the Hawks would play at what was then called Phillips Arena. And it sucks because I would have loved to have a hockey team. Right now, I can't lie to you. At first, I was more like, Predators, because they're in Nashville. But then I'm like, I don't really go to Nashville. I want to, believe me. I want to be traveling a whole lot more here for the years to come. And I will be going to Nashville because Toluca plays Nashville SC in the League's Cup. So it's all connected. Must be seeing a lot of Toluca this season. But I always go to Tampa Bay. I always go to Clearwater every year, right? And I feel like I'm leaning towards the Lightning because, first of all, I do want to say, not my uncle, but it's my wife's uncle that, passed a couple months ago. I think on it. I love him. And every time we go to Clearwater, that was always the vibes. We would always, I think of him, right? Because those were the beach vibes. So that's why I've decided, you know what? I'm a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. I'm a rep Tampa Bay because we go every year. And that can be like something that I cherish, that I connect, with remembering him. And we're going to continue going and building on those memories. So I made my decision. I'm a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. I heard in the NHL world, a lot of people aren't liking the Lightning because they always go to the finals. They're always there. Lately, last couple of years. So, yeah, we definitely got to hit up a hockey game, bro, because that is something I feel like, they fight. It's basically soccer. It's on ice. The video games are fun. So definitely want to open up my horizons to really explore that world. If you watch hockey, if you're a season ticket holder, once again, please reach out. We are looking for you. We want to connect with you. This is the goal, right? So please reach out. Victor, any experience with NHL hockey? What's your, how do you feel about it? Mighty Ducks in the Disney Channel back in the day, like anything.
Mighty Ducks. Yeah, I think we've all seen the Mighty Ducks movies here and there, and I think they even had some cartoons back in the day. But no, I've never been to any NHL games. Not really familiar with it that much or hardly at all. When I used to work in the office at a design agency, most of my coworkers they would go for I believe they're called the Penguins. I believe. I even bought a shirt somehow. I got it at Reebok. But besides that, no. I have no connection with the team. But I know we have one in North Carolina. But right now I don't really have one. But I would definitely like to go to a hockey game for sure. We've gone to plenty soccer games, basketball games, football games, but even baseball games. I am an Atlanta Braves fan. So you do get one. You do get one. I am an Atlanta Braves fan for baseball. I'm not the biggest baseball fan, but that is my team from Atlanta. So you do get one from me.
Okay.
You do get one.
Before we shift over to baseball real quick, doesn't Charlotte or the Carolina has a hockey team? Are they like the Carolina?
They do, but they're in that city, Raleigh.
They're around. Okay. Hold on.
If they were in Charlotte, yes, but no, not at all. Can't support anything in that city.
Carolina Hurricanes. Okay.
The Hurricanes. Yeah, the Canes. Yeah, but no affiliation. Now, if they were in Charlotte, yes, we do have the Charlotte Checkers. Shout out to them. They did do a Charlotte FC night back in December. I was gonna go, but I was unable to. So yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I have heard Charlotte might get. They're trying to bid for a possible MLB franchise in the future, but no connection to the Hurricanes at all.
That would be.
I don't think I can't. Yeah, it would be. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not closing the doors to it, but we'll see. Maybe we go and it's a fun time. You never know.
I did, because I heard you mention kind of a lower division hockey team. I can't forget, we do have the Gwinnett Gladiators. They play here at Gas South Arena, and I haven't been to a game, but I think that would be great for us to check out. Just for the vibes.
If they play the Checkers, all the Checkers, we got to see that. Hopefully.
So baseball, you root for the Braves, and have a lot of family in Texas, root for the Astros. A lot of people, there's some drama with the Astros. The MLB season's coming up. I'm a hardcore Braves fan all the way. I did get to experience the World Series Game 4. I can say I went to that. That was pretty historic.
I mean, that was amazing Instagram picture.
Yeah,
I'm going towards the sun. That was such an epic post. Ever since you posted that, you guys won. That was awesome. That was
yeah. I mean, it was amazing. When your team's in the final, like you're doing anything you can, right, to bring that energy, anything, right, that you feel.
Harnessing like Goku. You were doing the spirit bomb. You were harnessing. You're gathering the energy with that post. It was magical. You got to put that up there for the folks to see.
No, yeah. I mean, if you're watching the video version, you would have already seen something, and yeah, it was quite the experience. I can't lie to you. I gotta shout out the company that I work for. Was able to sponsor that event. They know I'm a big sports guy. I mean, I bleed sports, so yeah. Being out there, getting that experience to attend a World Series game. I mean, it's like going to the Super Bowl, or I could say I've been to the MLS Cup. But the dreams, right? Go to World Cup final, Stanley Cup finals in NHL, the U.S. Open when it comes to tennis. So all these big events, definitely we want to cover. But yeah, knowing that I attended a World Series game, I definitely don't want it to be my last, and hoping the Braves can come back. We definitely want to cover some baseball very, very soon. But I'm glad that you and I can at least share that, having the Braves. I know you like going out there. There's always a vibe. Going to a baseball game, I mean, that's such a summer.
Well, yeah, that new stadium. Well, I say new. It's not. It was both a couple years ago, but it's such a fantastic place. You can't tell there's a stadium in there. It's like a little town. Yeah.
The battery.
It's incredible.
Yes,
this is
without a doubt.
It's amazing. Getting the hot dogs, the popcorn, the whole experience is great. Got the hag. It's amazing. I loved it. It was very, very fun.
Wow. Well, I think we can conclude right there. I think it's been a great first podcast, kind of reliving a lot of things, a lot of memories, really covering a little bit of everything when it comes to the aspects of soccer and, what really drives our passion and why we're doing this. And I think it's been great, talking to you. I think we've been something I wanted to mention at the beginning of the podcast. It's been a long time coming. I mean, it's taken a couple months for this moment to really actually do this, and now having this, plastered on the internet, it's going to be exciting to go back and listen to. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what's to come. MLS season opener this weekend for us.
Been a long week trying to get to this point.
We got March Madness. We got March Madness is coming up, and I know you haven't done a bracket, but I'm gonna make you do a bracket. You're like, what's going on? But you'll find out soon enough. We gotta do a bracket and kind of see who gets the most points. I think that'll be nice. Place a nice little bet, maybe like a nice little lunch when you come back to Atlanta on May. I think that'll be cool. And I don't know if you want to give any shout outs to conclude, but I'm very, very excited to have accomplished this. Look, let's be honest, man. At the beginning of the week, you weren't feeling too good. I'm glad you're feeling better. You're a little bit under the weather. I was actually a little bit under the weather myself last week. I basically had lost my voice, and I was kind of scared I wasn't going to be able to, finish the video that I had planned. But thankfully, my wife rescued me with all her remedies, and I was able to get to the bins, cover all that previous video that we have. But we made it, man. So thank you. Can't do this without you. And excited for the next one. We'll have a special guest. But go ahead. Anything you want to add to conclude podcast number 1?
Yeah. It has been a long time coming. Almost 7.5 years. But definitely since around December, that's when we talked. Towards the end of December, that's when we kind of talked about the idea. Why don't we run it back? Let's do it. And from now until then, we've worked very hard. A lot of behind the scenes things, a lot of moments, a long week. We've been trying to record this for the past couple of days, but unfortunately, I was a little sick.
It's been crazy, man.
A lot of missed calls, a lot of things, but we're here. Thank God we're here. We're able to recover, and it was the first one. It's very, very, very excited. Very excited to finally put it out there. I know we've always we've had great conversations all the time on the phone, and I'm glad very happy that we were able to capture this and put it out there for others to enjoy. Thank you for all you do. I couldn't have chosen a better business partner to do this with. It's great. It's great stuff. Looking forward to the rest of the season. Like you said, we have a lot of special guests, a lot of great content coming up. I do have to give a very big shout out to I'm bringing it back to Charlotte FC, my supporters group, Southbound and Crown. Shout out to Michael Gallimore. Shout out to Heidi. Shout out to the shipping department. Great people. Shout out to Churchy. Shout out to Meg. Everyone in the Twitter group chat that we have going. A lot of group messages on Facebook, on Twitter. Shout out to all of them because they were there for me in a very dark time back in 2021, and I was able to become a part of something special and find a group of friends that eventually became family. So very, very excited. Shout out to them. I wouldn't be here without them. So thank you for bringing me in, and we're all a family. So thank you guys. I love you.
Big J, thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's great. In this world and this time that we live in, I think it's great to have support from community and friends. At the end of the day, we're humans, and there's nothing better than human interaction and enjoying experiences, and especially when it's like surrounding sports, family, work, culture, whatever it is. I think it's great to have that support, and if anyone out there is going through a hard time, right, or feels any type of way, let this be a sign that, hey, anything is possible. Me and Victor really wanted to start something, right? I think everybody always wants to start something, put something out there, especially in this day and age. Just do it, man. Just do it. Not to reference the 4-letter.
Never too late.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. Make the leap of faith. Whatever, anything is possible. Just keep putting your foot forward. So no, thank you for sharing those words, Victor. I myself, obviously my family, the wife and the kids, they're like, oh my God, like, that's a mic. Like, what's going on? Like, yeah, and now it's exciting. It's exciting for like this new era, and the goal, right, to kind of get other people involved, and we'll be reaching out to, close friends and family to, jump on in the next future episodes. We're going to be doing some traveling, and, we want to do it for the people, want to do it for ourselves, but just to put some positivity out there in the world and let this be just a casual conversation. And, like I said, believe me, I wish I could have become that star athlete, me being, as a youngster, I didn't really have the possibility I didn't have some of that support I would have liked to, get into sports. But that's why, like, I coach my daughter's team. I'm doing this because this is my little grain of, a little grain of salt, right, to the sports world, wherever I can do an ad. And maybe this could be a time for you guys to just catch up, lay back, and listen to two cousins and best friends talk about sports, culture, life, and whatever, right? And, if there's anything you guys would like us to talk about, anything you want to chime in, and once again, we're reaching out. You want to come here and talk about your favorite sports teams or anything you've lived, please, reach out to us. The DMs are open, the lines are open. Me directly, if you know us, if you personally know us, you can hit us directly, or you can leave a comment, whatever. We are here. All social media platforms, WAM Sports Life. We're excited, and we want to wish y'all an amazing weekend, and we'll see y'all next week. We have a special guest, a very special person close to our hearts. He's a man now, but remember being a kid, pretty much raising the boy, showing him the ways, and now, he's doing big things. I'm excited to hear his story. And yeah, if you want to be part of the podcast, reach out. And I'm out. Edgar Hernandez. Victor, if you want to, I know you already went on your beautiful speech, man, but any last 2 seconds and we can call this podcast number 1 a wrap.
Yeah. Just to touch up on that. Very excited for our guests that we're going to have on the next episode. We have a lot of memories with that individual, a lot of great memories. So I know it's going to be a great one. I know everyone's going to love it. And if you see us out this weekend at the Charlotte game, Atlanta game, and if you've seen this podcast, if you listen to it wherever it's available, come up, say hi, take a picture, talk to us. If, maybe we can get that random interview and going. We want to be accessible to everyone, and hopefully we can provide a platform, something to better your day on your drive while you're working, while you're working in the office or cooking or whatever activity you're doing. Hopefully you can put this on and just sit back and enjoy two best friends, two cousins, talk about this, talk about stuff like this, and hopefully we provide a little bit of positivity into your day. So, thank you for the support. As my good friend Lee says, like, share, and subscribe. So please go ahead and do that.
Have a great day. Have a great night. Or if it's been 20 years and you're coming back and listening to this, we hope your favorite sports team wins this weekend or week, or they're winning right now, or later today, or later tonight.